Okay, family, muna kusha to win na morning time to we almost going to 9 o'clock. People are surprised why make we come on so early. Na morning to we tuna self know self gets busy schedule them and the people in back right now we would bring on our platform with it, especially like from the A.P.C. they self get big busy schedule them. So we'll get for manage yourself. So anyway, we welcome to this program today. Today we'll get another big allejo from the All People's Congress where we can talk to quickly. So please share the video, share good morning. Mina, if I first in this week the join this program, Mina Egat Shaba and live and direct with me. I get me lovely co-host when Rachel Bangoa Davis. Tell it to Rachel. Welcome again, Rachel.
Family them welcome again, welcome again. I know this is not unusual time, unusual hours. Unusual hours, unusual time, where Sierra Leone they face. So we always get to play with your role as people are within the media. Now we own part this role we play because we owe responsibility to Sierra Leone people then as part of the job for make them able to understand how the political arena they play right now, especially when we're into elections. So once again, if you just joining, please share the video, and stay tuned.
Yes, please una share. We'll get senior operative from the A.P.C where they can talk to me and also continue. We'll get other people in market will join on the program later on. So but for now, we'll bring in somebody we na million big one, na million bra. Was it well, Mr. Million bra this and before this way they can have a platform. I'm so happy where you honor this invitation. Mr. Ahmed Sesay, welcome to this program, my big brother. I first of all, I always appreciate you. I never say this on social media. I always appreciate you. Where you give me a big tax. With that tax will give me a fulfiller for take Lucky Dube to Sierra Leone. And me now one of the DJ and senior engineer. You say, Shaba, I'm gonna fly you to Sierra Leone. We could go do the show with Lucky Dube. I don't ever say this on social media. I'm the way to the right time. I always appreciate you for where you give me. I respect. They say, Shaba, I'm gonna give you the tax to make you fulfill it for me. And indeed, I fulfill it. Appreciate you also, Mr. Ahmed Sesay. Thank you very much for that.
You're welcome, and I'll also use this opportunity to say thank you at that time. Artistically, it was fantastic, even though we get so many challenges, but we achieved for the brand Salon post-war hotel that the concert and they will tell everybody in the world, say Sierra Leone is ready, post-war Sierra Leone is ready for business. So I thank you once more, and thank you for having me.
And when people recognize you as an entertainer, you're not only a politician, you're an entertainer, because for man when you take musician, a big musician, they can't go now, you can't, you're an entertainer.
Well, that's true. Me, I did touch all sides. That's the fact of that.
Thank you very much. We'll also get a big busy schedule. We'll try up with you quickly. Recently, I actually mean to follow you all the time. You would use the way you the presenter, they always follow you. Recently, you do a audio where people feel you pain by that audio the way you do. What thing trigger you for make you do that audio when you tell people and say maybe this gonna be the last audio this one they do, or maybe this gonna be the last time this one they go na ECSL?
Well, actually, thank you very much, and I must say this could be brief because I get for halt an entire convoy. We're heading for Pujon. Today, I will campaign day for Pujon. For make we go just do door to door and tell people that we election day strategy and just people and confidence say let them stand up to their rights, even though then they bully them. So I will be very brief. Yes, come to your question. Me now one of 5 people that will represent the party na ECSL, but most important, I mean they do the legal area of the ECSL. We camp electoral laws and constitutional laws and all other areas. Okay, and I see the impunity where ECSL they take, the arrogancy, the unprecedented way then they conduct this election process, because I always say election is not an event, it's a process. But throughout the process and they flout laws, then they break away from laws, then they break away from the conventions, then they break away from international standards, international best practices. So, and with impunity, and they constantly, they tell me political parties say, there are redress we can rely on. We have conventions under ECOWAS. We ensure that electoral commissions through the sub-regions do the right thing. We also have a United Nations Convention on Civil and People's Rights. There are remedies that we should pursue. So I urge me party for actually stand up. My frustration more to me party, of which I think we're not doing enough for many people, and they get the message, say, we not go let them tramp on with constitutional rights, and then just lying down there. And we're close to that. So all that frustration, I go na morning at ECSL, and then things, you know, it was a long journey. First, they made laws. They repealed the 2012 Act, Public Elections Act, replaced it with 2022 Public Elections Act. I was in Parliament for almost 2 weeks. They helped parliamentarians to guide them on the area of law. How I digress that act from the first provisions to the last one, from section 1 to section 188. We force them. Some of the laws, we don't want them. Then force them, now we put them, enact them. They came back with a constitutional instrument for amend other laws them. We fetch them, then post reback. But then laws they now don't come into effect. Now pass to beg una back for let una use their lawyer. In a one depart from those laws again. So all those frustration at ECSL and my party, I make I just say, you know what? I think that's it. I can only take this more.
You just mentioned, say, the party need for do enough. What are the enough way things the party for doing? Well, Dr. Samuel don't put a press release, press conference a couple of days ago where it mentioned so many things. The minister press conference over 1 hour.
Well, the leader, yes, he spoke tough, but imagine he gave 72-hour ultimatum.
Right.
And within the 24-hour, the election has commenced. In other words, early voting does start. So if you give 72-hour, 24-hour, a malpractice they take place, you go for visit to 72-hour back, say, no, for this particular reason, enough is enough. We're not going to take this. We're going to take this action and want to let the British High Commission. You see, a lot of people, when they see protest as a crime, especially within the SLPP. But one thing what they say, this is a small world. Tomorrow, A.P.C get for kind of power.
Right.
Be it short term, long term. And A.P.C will get for do something that will not be pleasing to the SLPP. And I always say this to my colleagues. And they will want to rely on the provision, the constitutional rights, we give them the rights, freedom of speech, self-determination, and all the guarantee where the constitution guarantee them. If they are under threat, they go and rely on the freedom of expression for go down in the streets and assimilate and do procession and protest peacefully. Then go and do them. And I would like to be the first one for say yes, now the rights for do them. So how now then they perceive protest as a crime? And the police, every application we policy make for protest, then will tell you say will not grant it. In essence, you are technically abrogating a very important fabric of the law. The law shall not give and take. If police stop you not for protest, the police, you have rights to notify them, and they have rights to tell you, say, for security reason, you should not assimilate or process. So let people not perceive as protest as an anarchy or an act of war. I speak as a lawyer, and let lawyer come to me, tell me say protest is a crime. Let just show me what part of the book where he says it's a crime. He said we have to notify the police. Then also we are signatory to a series of conventions where they gear along to international civil and political rights. Sierra Leone is a signatory. We get ECOWAS convention, when a sub-regional treaty where we're part of, where we could rely on. So I am saying to my party, wake up and let's utilize these avenues effectively for let we deliver for the people of Sierra Leone. We are just a conduit for deliver for the people of Sierra Leone. We are representative and ambassadors for the silent majority. SLPP was in our shoes 5-6 years ago, who been in governance. They serve the people and they see them as matters. People and they see them as a conduit for channel and grievances because of the formidable political opposition at that time. So we shall go step on that role day. So anything they are doing now, let them we are saying it's going to be a precedent. If they discourage dissent and protest under the law, mark you tomorrow, if they come under the power, they will attempt, they have set a precedent. Any other political party will stop them back. We will be dangerous. And that's all I have to say.
So quickly, you talk about, we all see immediately after that statement, Dr. Samoa make, inside 24 hours, like you say, voting, early voting starts. And according to what we understand, say, the voter, the voting ballot paper, then for come on the 17th, when at today, but we see all of a sudden we get early voting, and we also see new reports and press release where they talk about even inside that voter, that ballot paper they come out inside 24 hours. And you get any idea of how many pilgrims them, they go and all of them things and they will not make available to the public. How you think, say, the party for don't address like you say, they give 72 hours, but because of their happenings and they could have done something different.
Okay, sorry, let me take you a bit aback. When they come with the proposal, say they want early voting for pilgrims, we kick against that, say no for be. We fought vigorously. They make a constitutional instrument for only and before Parliament, constitutional instrument number 16. Parliament kick against them, they overvote against them. But they use them vote and the parliamentary for secure the simple majority, then pass them. Inside that constitutional instrument, they Section 4, subsection 5 say, a list of voters who don't express their willingness for vote early must be given to political parties. A week before, I don't ask them, let them give me the number of voters, pilgrims who intend for travel. Let them give me the list of among those numbers who are eligible for vote and who don't express interest for vote. I went to the extent, I told them that initially you send 1,000 pilgrims. Now if social welfare tell me, say, now then give the contractor. Later on social welfare, I go there back. Social welfare tell me, say, now 650 pilgrims now in the final contract. Now I say, okay, I tell Ecsl, how come social welfare get the list of people and now where they travel 650 and you still say you don't? Well, they need for communicate them to social welfare. I said, but these people don't retain visa. So now no one give me the list of pilgrims. I said, okay. And they say, okay, people then don't begin express interest for vote. I said, but you can't leave it forever. Say up to the 11th hour, people are for it. We need this. And they say, well, then don't get 256. That's it. When you push, the constitution say they should not be they should not subjected to the control of individuals and political parties. So I say, but this is frustrating. Now, when I pass the law, say, una go give me list. So when I express me concern, I don't know if you see new national election, they report after the voting. Exactly what I said. Now, me audio 9 highlights for be the problem. They say they print some of those ballot papers here. Coming back to your questions. Now say, well, how many of those ballot papers you have printed? Who don't have the printer? How come when they go to elections, una print the same paper una print in South Africa? Una print them locally. Whose guarantee we will get say you did not print more? Why don't you involve us? Where the requisition? Where the purchase order una give to the printer? For sure say una print the amount become me get 650 pilgrims na the manifesto I get na me possession. So how many ballot papers did you print? And that's 650. Not all of them are eligible to vote. Not all of them register for vote. I say so, but plus or minus, you cannot print more than 650 ballot papers. Whose concession will I get from political parties for print paper locally? Will I already go print in South Africa? I say this is a recipe for a chaos. Honestly, all my protests our protests fell on deaf ears. They know they even listen to you. And that is the point where I say, actually, perhaps you know, and it's dangerous. You cannot have ballot papers printed in South Africa. In the past, when ballot papers arrive, before they come, Political Party Relations Committee, I've been beginning to represent APC from 1996, 2002, 2007, 2012, 2018. You understand? I will write a book on the procedure, the convention, the norms, everything. What is in the book, what is best practice, what is convention, what is in the interest of transparency. All then they went and they go collect ballot paper, then they involve with. Then they show you the requisition, who side even the for print the ID card, then they show you the purchase order. Then they show you the manifest. Then show you how much pallets they come. Then they even encourage for go na your port. We go receive them in 2007. We drive behind them until we go to that Sun garage and they will keep them, the ballot papers. For sure, every party is involved in the process. This is the only commission where not they involve we.
But I mean, this is my question.
And they come. And interestingly, every time, if it is not me, it is Richard Conte or Yvonne Akisoya, who always the Ecsl or Honorable CDI Atunis. Now we no more they rant over on fair play. One day SLPP no cannot media cry foul over Ecsl.
This is my question, Ahmed. This is not discouraging. Why they're not involved now from the starts? Who said they go print? Who said they go print a ballot paper them? Who said they go they go rent box them? Also the ID card. They're not involved now. Why?
Well,
why?
It's that's the whole essence of political party liaison committee. Now that every day under their discretion, because they have a discretion. There are things that are expressly stated in the law, they can just go according to the law in letter. They don't need we consent. But things that are in pursuit of their discretion, they should usually, this is they call me say, but one print, wait, we get predicaments now. The people, the pilgrims and they travel the 18, ballot paper not get for camp. One print locally. You understand? Then we are aware. Then we go say, okay, how many pilgrims? Well, where the requisition paper? Where the ballots printing? Well, those ballot papers need to be specifics and marks. Alle voting ballot papers. So therefore, on polling day, we cannot see foreign ballot papers in our boxes. That is what we should have done when had been the prudent thing for do if they involve with. We'll not see the ballot paper. They're not showing.
So the Ecsl not inform inside 24 hours when they're ready for do the voting. Or because of the statement where Samuel make.
No, they inform we. We went to Wellington. 24 hours at the meeting. Now they say early voting is tomorrow. Now say you joking. You did not notify us. You not publish dates. We not call we for our credits. You not call we for send observers. How on earth we go just come overnight say we vote tomorrow? You know, this is proper. Well, we print locally. How many? Who's kind of disturbing news? I was so peeved that moment. If not to be for a whole lot of reasons. I mean, for don't explode the and that to imagine whereby to God and Elizabeth for bring disaster for me personal security. But we express we could. and take and say, but if you guys want the sanity, the free and fair election, you so claim for una goal, why una not involve it for you guys printed ballot papers locally without our knowledge?
So when the 72 hours done, what do you think say? What's the party in next move? Because I mean, like you say, for best practices, like how we don't do from the past elections, them 90% or so. I mean, it was really transparent, and now some people are just don't familiar themselves with ballot box, with data, with all of this. Because at that time we feel say ECSL they do them work, but now. I mean, you don't make self the small picking on 5 years self understand what's in a disaggregated data. So what's in the party in move?
Well, it's a party decision. They met on Friday, a NAC meeting, where they make a decision, where for discuss on the ultimatum and a whole other issues. It's the party decision is yet to be communicated to the general membership. And it's done so for a reason. But let me tell you, there are certain worries where I will not hide from you. All the man, they call for the postponement of the elections. Yes, it is ideally, there are all indications that we are not prepared. But it's going to be a constitutional nightmare for postpone the elections. How do you postpone elections? That is one big question, because it's a parliamentary procedure. We made demands that the ECSL chairman for resign and that foreign international communities to conduct elections. Again, the law say that the national returning officer now get the sole rights for declare somebody president. And the national returning officer is electoral commissioner. Electoral commissioner is not legitimate until parliament says you are the electoral commissioner. So this is a constitutional crisis. So how for avert this? Now ECSL no more able to avert this for do the right thing. Because even though we made these demands, but in law you cannot make demands that cannot be practically enforced. Because even if international community comes here with a conduct election, which is unprecedented, who is going to be the returning officer that will declare the winner president as per constitution, as per law? International person which they come as caretaker will not do that. I mean, I like to say things, so it's my political party, but things that involve legal. I'm a constitutional and a public law scholar. I have to say things as it is. All this, I'm saying this for let ECSL know the burden, the civic burden within at their shoulder, where if they're not discharged them diligently and impartially, how we get for going to a constitutional crisis. And if people descend and ask for things to be done, we will ground this to a halt. And for avert that, it doesn't take an arm and a leg to do the right thing. It is not too late. ECSL should make it proper, call political parties, let's commit to standard operating procedures, which might involve the manner by which they intend to announce the results and transmit the results, the manner they wish to collate as per law, the manner in which they therefore retrieve the results, the manner in which they have to recruit. All this thing has to be now under standard operating procedures before the elections next week. That will avert a catastrophe. But if they continue for the Ecsl, so the people will ask their demands, and the people don't know whether those demands can be met with, they will ask anyway.
Well, Ahmed, quickly before we left you, Mohamed Kane don't tell we say he not go resign. Any other commissioner them they not go resign, and also they say ballot papers them for arrive today. We just get notification say the ballot papers them they not go arrive today. What thing will be your legal advice to NAC after 72 hours?
You see, resignation is the last option. Dr. Samuel Akama not just want for create a vacuum or just grab, say, let this man just grab and resign. No, he's an ultimatum. that the election get for do the right thing, then get for do the correct thing, or else make them vacate. If the commissioner say he will not resign, then he get for commit say he will do the right thing. Because in resignation go declare a natural situation, say, okay, the election will not hold because there is no returning officer. So it's natural. That is the only way. The election will not hold because the returning officer has resigned. And the deputy and the commissioner. So, but if they give alternative, say, if you not do the right thing, you have to resign, you can just come back to us and say, no, let us dialogue. You know what is perplexing? Why these people don't want to engage political parties for dialogue, especially the A.P.C. You go bring all the Mickey Mouse political party, you get 8 of them, you think, say, you have the voice of other political parties. If we do the same thing, it will be very disastrous. In 2018, when they bring their objections, their issues, it was heated. But Ambassador Fode and Sane, even the Ecsl, he come out plain. He say, you know what? It is right to hear the objections of the SLPP also. He told the commissioner, Mfali, he said it is right in the interest of peace. It is also right to hear the cries and objections of the SLPP. Why the SLPP are not doing the same thing? Say it is right to hear the cries and the concerns of the A.P.C.
All right, Shaba, I can bring Mr. Jallo in because I think say he want to make Ahmed clear some issues them where he just mentioned. I think say he needs some clarity on that issue there. Mr. Jallo, over to you because Ahmed not get much time. You say you want to ask Ahmed some things.
We'll only get you on mute. We'll only get you, Mr. Jallo.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, go on, sir.
Yeah, go on.
Hello, Mr. Sesay, how are you?
I am fine, sir.
Yes, sir. And I'm a very more senior member of the All People's Congress talking to you.
Thank you, sir.
I joined the A.P.C in 1978 as a student at Jala University. Okay?
Yes, sir.
You've made a lot of theoretical points, but Sierra Leone is above and beyond theories as it is. We are in a situation as you find in The Devil's Alternative, written by Frederick Forsyth. Creole say, frog way young, they pull, get tumba, not the way only they get kakwes. The ECSL is not ready to conduct an election. They are ready to announce a result. That's why they're coming with all these strategies and tactics. I'll bet my life. As I'm talking to you, I'm not afraid of death. Because one of the things that is being used now in Sierra Leone effectively is the intimidative tactics of using death. Oh, if una do so, go kill una. Whichever way you die, you have to die one day and somehow. Okay? So people have to take the bull by the horn. And some of us, me talking to you, I don't consider myself as a politician as I talk. I consider myself as a trustee of the Republic of Sierra Leone. Talking to you, I want to have certain things cleared. You've said constitutionally we cannot replace the ECSL. What if by some natural cause Mohamed Kone dies today? Can't he be replaced? Do we have to go to parliament? Secondly, Secondly, the issues of the constitutionality of ECSL and every constitutionality operates when there is normalcy. This is a very abnormal situation that may lead Sierra Leone into a crisis bigger than what we are seeing. Some of us don't want Sierra Leone to go to that level because at the end of the day, it's going to take the country back decades. That 10-year war, up to this time we are talking, has its impact internationally on Sierra Leone. What if we have to go to another crisis? To save a crisis and to save constitutionality, which comes first? Are we in a hurry to conduct elections, or are we in a hurry to save Sierra Leone? Those are my two concerns.
Okay, let me just answer this. A few minutes ago, I say, Cornell don't, no need for that. I say if he resign now, then the election will not hold because he's the returning officer. And the same happened to his demise. The same applies to his demise. The election will not hold. I say so for avoid all this, he has, if he resign now, he will be doing us a favor because then the election will not hold because he's the returning officer. Then we will get a solution. Now that I say earlier, you know, you talk about, you know, always they say the crisis where we get now this country, it is not just a constitutional crisis, a total threat. We make some of us have to go back to the shelves and dust off the TRC reports on Sierra Leone to remind ourselves.
Yeah. Now
so you so right when you start this Ecsl, all indications don't you say they not intend for conduct elections as we know it. Elections as it is in our constitution and it is as it states in the Public Elections Act. They just want, while we are voting, they have their numbers, and then in the end they just announce. Because the reason why they bring in this app, we not get no theory, no support base in the law. They want after they vote, then they dump in information on this app. And then in the end, then they say by our app, this part 9 don't win.
Like how they do in Nigeria.
Thank you. So we will not accept that today and will not accept that tomorrow. In the meantime, we not say in the 11th hour, solutions will be arrived at. But in the meantime, we will tell our people, the leadership will come back to us tomorrow. The Honorable Cherry Coco, deputy leader, don't see her yesterday. He said it is our right to go out there and protest. And police must behave as professionals. And if a police officer fire a shot or go against the rules of engagement, we shall treat him as a civilian. And we'll know he is not within the rule. So the leadership, the deputy leader, Honorable Chelno Majuba, said that, and I'll take the cue from his assertion, that if the A.P.C decide to pursue the rights under the Constitution and the police refuse to behave professionally, we shall take them to task for that. So everything you say, the election might not hold for a whole lot of reasons, but if they still have the dignity, the time for come back to the people of Sierra Leone, where they vow for serve under oath and do the right thing. And that is what our leader is asking for. Resignation is the last option. So they should come back to us and say, this is how we intend to do this. A team of ECOWAS don't approach the party already, say they will be jetting in here this week for try to de-escalate tension and find a solution. And I just hope they cooperate, because then they go and brag, say they're not going to cooperate with any international body.
They will not.
Ahmed, before you go, no switch.
Wait, just all up quick, because Mama is saying,
yes, before you go, no sugarcoat this thing. We all are citizens, first of all, not to una when are the politicians there. We are citizens, no say Ecsl will never do the needful, because from the beginning,
they will not.
From the beginning,
no, listen.
You see, yes.
You hold
on.
Yes.
You see, some of us out here are very much concerned about what is happening. Maybe you don't hear me 1 or 2 times on social media.
Yes, yes.
I get several other ways where they do me thing. And I want to assure you, say, in some of we own quiet way, we don't do a lot we make. Even the international pressure we will not get so now, they take place. The day before yesterday, when the SLPP came with a press conference, I did not sleep the whole night. Ask what I was doing. Drafting a letter that I will send to key members in Norway and Europe, people of relevance, expressing deep concern about Sierra Leone sliding into a war that is bigger than what happened in Rwanda, because some of us are foreseeing that. If you see what's in the gun, so then guys are up to this stage, they're not a listen to other people. Then the day when they say APC make conference, the next day SLPP go make press conference. Tell me, what is the logical connection between ECSL and SLPP?
I said that
all conference for SLPP. They say ECSL.
I say Anami Odio say these people are hell bent on rigging the election, and they will not listen. And what they say? Look now, we they go Pujong. We have the almost a platoon of SSD leading our waiting for us now both for taking inside Pujong. Where SLPP they go now area, then they go and stroll. Nobody not get in time.
Nobody. One day
but we police get for escort because they know the plan say them people then don't say they will not tolerate APC people, and not just APC people. I hate to say it. They even go to the extent they are peddling regional and tribal sentiment to their people. Right. If you just say no allow APC person for Kaya, I they understand. But if you go beyond APC and begin say me tribe or region not for Kandi, then it becomes dangerous. And they know that. So they're not intent for comply. But the reason why make as international criminal courts, I do a lot of consultancy and I've had several cases, 1 or 2 cases in ICC. How the international community they build a case, they will come and attempt to mediate and see who complies. So now that follow there will they go. When tomorrow the ICC is indicting, we will say yes. When they call we go, they not go. They call themselves complementarity. They can only complement where there is no justice served locally. So they will come and mediate. If they fail for realize and their atrocities, then you will not have a defense tomorrow. So Naimeko will not say they not get intention for comply. But Naimeko they waste time with all these foreign bodies where they come. Now we will not fool. Now we are the first for go there because we have a reason. When ICC they start for indict people and for war crimes, we want to be exonerated. Say yes, indeed, we did our best. Why would they go to court? 30 days they not enlist or empanel judges for a real case. We're not stupid, but we not say let the ICC know say we follow due process and we're deprived of due process because where ICC they indict now 3 people and they indict now ICC. The Security Council of the United Nations, then they indict the prosecutor of the ICC, get power for indict, and the people of Sierra Leone or member states get right for indict. So where the people of Sierra Leone get for indict people tomorrow, let them know say yes, indeed, we use local remedy, they not give you attention. So for make a left now, this is just to say we not go communicate because as a matter of leadership and hierarchy, I'll not communicate the decision of the meeting. But rest assured, we have resolved to a decision, which they might not like, but we have resolved to a decision. But I will not say this on social media. But to be honest, we will not take this line down. If this guy defeats us on a free and fair election, we shall happily take invitation to their inauguration. Yeah. But they have to be free and fair elections. You understand? So for me can hold the convoy now not have on a net. I sadly get for left una, but to be honest,
please do,
Pajalo is a pressure. Pajalo, it's a pleasure seeing you now.
We go do what you get for do out here.
Yes.
Be rest assured, yeah?
Thank you
Okay.
Thank you very much. I will call you, Ahmed. Thank you.
Say before you go,
Yes.
Chapter 3 of we Constitution,
Yes.
everybody a right for protest and expression.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
I'm talking to you because I was part of the committee or commission that wrote that constitution.
Thank you very much.
Vice President of the Teachers.
Thank you very much, Ahmed. Safe journey.
What will be mean will be right.
Safe journey.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Take care. Do a big. Now dangerous territory now they go so.
Thank you. Yes, we get another big allego.
Increase the volume.
Make your camera small. You can knock small. Thank you. I don't know for some reason. When it's as if Sulamani posters on Facebook and they laugh. By the way, before we start laughing this video, I beg please.
Yeah, okay.
Small no more, just full and small. Small.
I think you got it. No, they can tell. I'm Kande Yunkela, leader of the NGC in Parliament. My caucus is totally against this nomination. We've made it clear before this process. We've made it clear during the interview, and we're making it clear today in Parliament. You heard what we said. We stand by it. The process was not correct. The integrity of the person is in question. Some of us, our parties have dealt with her over the last 7 years. So nobody will teach us or try to launder image. We're talking about experience. Going there to settle disputes, observing her manipulations, observing her deliberate delay in acknowledging letters, replying to letters, even manipulating letters. We stand by what we said. It is on record that I supported the NEC commissioner, not so? Everybody saw that. Single-handedly, I stood there to defend. Today, I oppose on moral grounds and grounds of integrity, and I stand by the consortium position. They did their research. Take note, the first time we have seen fast-track clearance of somebody alleged to be corrupt. All this time, no clearance. Suddenly, clearance is given. What is the purpose of fighting corruption? We see other cases where some are dragged for interviews, but suddenly we see clearances given to people. Is that how we fight corruption? So people brandish those letters in Parliament. People should know when you start bad practices, bad precedents are not good for democracy. 10 years from now, somebody will quote the same thing. Of course, we know what consultations means. If people don't understand, they should go back and check the records of Ahmed Tijan Kaba. Ahmed Tijan Kaba consulted in the case of Aka. When he saw that the opposition did not trust Aka, he dropped Aka. He brought Christian Atop. That is consultation. Come on. We were all here doing the rebel war. When we wanted peace, we know what consultation means. I was in government. So nobody can come and begin to teach us that when they write to you, you are informed. That's consultation. Maybe they didn't go to CKC. Maybe they went to some village school. Consultation means I write to inform you that I have the intention of appointing somebody. Therefore, I need your views. You don't say, I am directed to inform you that it has pleased to appoint. That is not consultation. If people think they're smart, you, the young people, will regret one day when people use their office in Parliament to do laundry now.
That's a very strong statement then by KKY. Disapproving Mohamed Kone.
Yeah. And that's the, so what's the question? That's the KKY. I mean, somebody who have never been trusted. You know, you see the whole thing, it's not about, for me, about being sympathetic for the A.P.C because the A.P.C have themselves to blame for all this mess.
All of us, Mr. Fona.
No, hang on a minute.
All of us, I'm not talking. Listen. This sectoralization of issues in Sierra Leone is why we have reached this point. All of us, all Sierra Leoneans have a blame.
Mr. Jalo, hold on, making comments.
Just sit front, please.
I don't like this kind of thing. This is not very decent.
Okay,
Facing the truth is decent, Mr. Fona.
If you say I take me time for calm on this thing,
Yes,
I'm
so
a very
Oh,
busy
me own
man.
time not important.
no, wait, Mr. Jallo, wait.
I made a comment that
Mr.
all
Jallo,
of
wait,
us.
don't interrupt him. Don't interrupt him, please. Don't interrupt him, please. With all due respect. Yes, Suleiman, please go on.
Some of us are past the stage of
When
talking
you
crap in
continue
Sierra
to
Leone.
create comfort for bad behavior, this is exactly what it will lead to. It has been a very, very long time. Not even today. You see,
Now you're talking.
Many Sierra Leoneans don't really understand. You see, the politics is about being a joke. The A.P.C for take leadership from the very time when they came out opposition, but they didn't take it. Look at that particular presentation. If I'm the leader of parliament, and I mean leader of the opposition, can lead any kind of thing? I'll be making that statement, not Kande Yimkela. Kande Yimkela is a very, very deceptive person. A person who looks at his own party, first he say they go join NGC, and fools they join them. I mean, people like Zubair, I mean, how they call them, I don't know they call them today, but I mean, many fools, and they don't even understand this. I saw this deceptive behavior. I don't know Kande Yimkela from 1992. I can't believe this country is so sad. This is a country where people carry the heads of humans but the brains of sheep. Many people. In 1991, I was in school when the Constitution was written, signed, and delivered to the people for changing to a multi-party constitution. Okay? And elections were set, timetable was set for 1992, followed going to election. The NPRC was a concoction, something set up in the southeastern place because they knew that many prominent SLPP people like Salia Jussi Sharif, Joabara Bangali, JB Dauda had really good time with the A.P.C from the 1978. They were not really ready to go into the SLPP. They were ready to actually support the A.P.C 1992 election, and this worried and panicked the southeastern chief. So they organized them picking inside the army, Marabio. That's why even the first NPRC, that's also them in them. Marabio, Sajmusa, Sandy, Monde, Numa, and they call over a dozen of them. Now, when they don't say this will be a flop, then they go take a career person for make us a scapegoat. Okay, who actually saw it that way? That these guys have come to destroy our first very constitution we set up. They killed it. They said that this very guy, Marabio, where they can use the same 1991 constitution where they were all the fights, Kande Yimkela. And Kande Yimkela joined those people. They did not see it that way. My own father, who was approached, saw it differently and said, no, I can never join you people. I mean, like khaki boys. We don't set up a constitution. We have an election coming for 1992. When I see young people in the dance floor now, this was not right for now to overthrow this constitution. But people like Kande Yimkela, prominent people, they join them. So this is the first time I actually knew Kande Yimkela as a deceptive person. He repeat the same thing when able to get the candidacy for the SLPP. He decided to become a rebel. That was not honest. But how many people saw it that way? This is the thing where I say, it's plenty Sierra Leoneans sort of intelligent people. They know you see, intelligent people like us, when you show me the tree, we they see the roots inside. That's what an intelligent person they think. But many Sierra Leoneans, they are just moved by frenzy, they are just moved by the excitement. This is the thing about the A.P.C story. The A.P.C, first and foremost, Ahmed made mention of to revisit the TRC. Remember the last broadcast where we get there, where we try to tell how Alex Baikoroba joked with the TRC document, how he messed up with it, had a field day, enjoyed, had big time. I mean, this was a very chronic kind of, I mean, they said, and Koroba was a missed opportunity, not like the Paul Kagame, who came after Rwanda. Paul Kagame locked up 125,000 people in 5 years in Rwanda. You think he was a fool? He picked all of them, all of these fools, where say this would be a dangerous element for the future of Rwanda. He locked up 125,000, left Paul Kagame, go to Lee Kuan Yew of Singapore. The same thing. To make a country right, you, the president, you have to be very, very serious about the future of the country. You are all part of the elements that we know for become today in political future of this country. If Alex Baikoroba was the person who had the right kind of frame for understand the dangerous elements where they deal with post-war Sierra Leone. Today, he has created a bloody mess, and the A.P.C are so naive to understand whose side and go wrong. The SLPP have actually played with the A.P.C very well. How? Can you imagine, but Ernest Microma took 10 years in order to democratize A.P.C, a very, very simple process for being done in a very respectful way, where as a leading president, as a post-war president for 10 years, he could have actually taken the lead to democratize A.P.C, put new constitution inside, create the kind of democracy, rather than allowing the rebellious tendencies within the A.P.C for create this humiliation, say SLPP can't play in their hands. That is how they begin.
So as we move now close to this whole thing, like you say,
so now this election.
SLPP, like you rightly say, Suleiman, SLPP use the people inside the A.P.C forget their own, while they were doing their own thing. But
right.
let's say in the interest of Sierra Leone now, because not so A.P.C one going get Salone. Now we all get Salone. In the interest of Sierra Leone, like you said, a lot of them people are not for the surface if therefore we don't do the right thing. So moving forward now, we want to look at the solution now. And now that, this whole thing don't surface now, and they go to the direction where some of we they foresee, and the A.P.C leadership now don't take leadership. Let's assume say don't take leadership and don't put word outside. What do you think say moving forward with all what you do, whether they play the games that they play by this election? How you think say Salon people have for come out strongly for against this issue?
If I have a advice to give, this election for be cancelled, because this election is going to be stolen. Well, you guys don't even know what is going on. This election for councillor, it take me another 1 year.
Or they for postpone them.
They for cancel this, postpone them. This is what I'm saying. They for postpone them. Therefore, start them all over again. It take me a whole year. Otherwise, I swear to God, if the A.P.C joke with this thing, they're going to steal this election, and it's going to lead into a bloodbath, and it's going to be into a very, very serious problem. Why? Look at this statement. These are people who they say that Kone was not actually, they're not up to the task, they doubt in leadership, in the ECSL and everything. Well, remember, what was the date of that statement? What was it?
2021?
That's like 3 years ago. What were they doing 3 years ago when they made that statement? What are the actions that we didn't take? First and foremost, A.P.C will always get a very weak leadership. What do you need for happen? Now that Samura Kamara don't take the leadership, I don't even call it the 11th hour, they call it the 12th hour, which is unfortunate. This is so wrong a time. Like, for me, he's like, how can we help this A.P.C? Because they have actually stayed and almost to the 12th hour. Okay, now, they don't control all the institutions. Yes, people have control of all the institutions. They have a control of the police. They have control of the OSD. They have control of all the security forces and everything. How are they going to fight this fight? Now, you don't get 72-hour ultimatum, which was right. I like that statement. It's very strong and everything. But what is the effect? What are the power behind it? There is no power behind it. It's just a statement they are making.
So, but yesterday we see also
what they have to do.
The deputy.
How much is the A.P.C? See, A.P.C, they get a lot of dumb fellas at the A.P.C. Where they actually speak out for capture international attention. A lot of dumb fellas. And the thing about the A.P.C, they're so bloody dumb that they are not actually accessing the support of people who are enlightened for help this party. This is where SLPP is doing better. Somebody tell me one thing, Suleiman, he say, I swear to God, he say, if you be there at the SLPP, say, I told you, therefore, no, you could have been a very, very prominent person, where therefore don't actually look at in terms of how did they get this thing out. The A.P.C, they're so close-minded, they so think that they know what they are doing, but they not know what they are doing, and they are not able to capture international attention to this problem to a level where at this point,
you advise to make a difference if they be open.
Okay, call 20. They even boy John Boria said also call 20 Sulaiman and Kain or 20 Sulaiman and Kain with the A.P.C for. They look at people that we really strong in regards to making these claims out and actually putting this pressure on. But they're not doing that. They're so close-minded, they're so selfish, they always think about themselves, and they don't know that they are sinking, but they're not doing well. How can they make a statement like that 3 years ago? What he reached for this particular point in time? They still were having a field day with Kone. That is the thing. They were sleeping. They have always been sleeping. And it has actually come so late that I don't know how they will turn this thing around. But I mean, the right thing to do is the APC for ensure they postpone this election and start this thing all over. Because can you imagine, in the era of President Koroma in 2018, they submitted ballot paper, election registration list 6 months prior to the election. Well, if in 2023, the battle election day, yeah, they even know to the ones. You mean election day next week or something? They don't even get part of the. Is that the election?
This is so scary when they say today the ballot paper therefore arrive. Now we just get notification say the ballot paper
election this month.
It's very scary.
Is that the election where APC for home? Is that an election where we for agree?
This
election that happened because you don't let first and foremost, you don't breach the time. First and foremost, you go present ID card the way all man feel like there's zombie there inside the ID card. It looks at everything. Say even Parande provoke Sierra Leone. Say, look how funny these people are. You know what I mean? What a country, what a people. The APC, they do a disservice to themselves. The bloody bunch of selfish fools and inside that party. When do they actually wake up to their own make? They don't say we depend on them for the peace and tranquility. The good thing about the APC is a government where, you know, if they're there in office, I mean, in terms of their human rights, look, 10 years of Ahmed Sesay Koroma will record more than 4 police deaths. Police deaths. Just 5 years of Julius Marabio, there has been over 260 people who have been killed in that country. It's genocide. How is the APC making this point? How are they punching it? To whose level? For it capture international attention that there's a genocide will not take place in this country. How are they putting it?
All right, so I'll move on to Mr. Jallo, but I also want for we all make Suleiman you bear in mind, say, I mean, the people, APC not to APC one going get salon. Even the people of Sierra Leone are not even, they're ready for the election, but they see the ECSL is not ready for election. So not just APC, the people of Sierra Leone. And when you talk about the human rights abuse as well, where you say how much APC they punch into the NTR for take advantage of that to the international community. I think that the task would not for left the task normal to APC, because if the country a lot of APC they Hamburg now really the poor people learn that they Hamburg. So if there's any way as a citizen when in country he able for punch some of the issues that are out there, I think we also get the responsibility as diaspora for do such and do the needful for we young people there and not for APC. I just want for learning.
Agreed. But Sulaiman is living in Queensland, Australia. I'm a small corner. I can't study Adelaide. I can't visit Smith. I didn't have a small corner. What are the international? These are people who hold parliamentary positions. These are people who serve as members of parliament. These are people who have ambassadors. They get access to everything and get the thing at the arsenal. But guess what they are not doing? They are not using their heads to think. These are the problem. They have to take the lead. They have to create a coordinated kind of effort. Let me tell you, it's been 15 years. I can tell you that there's never been a time when one APC person called Suleiman, but Suleiman, but how do you but to go and see what you do? Tell me how many times you've actually had a call from an APC person. Now, Freetown, we actually call you and say, but what can we do? How can we coordinate it? They feel too big.
I don't need one, Suleiman. I don't need any grace from anybody.
We cannot
I do what I have to do as a Sierra Leonean for the sake of Sierra Leone. It's not about me being APC or ZPC or being recognized. As a matter of fact, I joined the APC in 1978. Your father was a personal friend to me. Yeah. I used to visit him at Lab Lane.
Yeah.
But I never went for any political office. Egerton here knows me in Wellington as a teacher. 2 of us.
True.
And a very poor one for that matter, not so.
Okay, Mr. Jallo,
but I was doing what I had to do, Rachel.
Mr. Jallo, I give you chance later.
Rachel, hold your peace. From now on, I'm talking for the sake of Sierra Leone. As I sit here, I told you just now, I spent the whole of day before yesterday evening not sleeping, writing a letter, sending to international organizations and people that I know, and some I don't even know them, but I know there are institutions that can intervene at a time like this. I did that because I had a genuine wish not to see my country go back to war. When I left university in 1979, I never had any intention of moving away from Sierra Leone. I was forced out of my country by this war. Even though, yes, where I came now, I would say thank God for what I am. I may not be that rich, popular man, but joke with me, I'll kick you when I want to kick you. I have that stability. Okay? Let us talk Sierra Leone. Because Sierra Leone is on the brink of a war that will be very devastating.
Mr. Jallo, you can't get you by it. I just want to you can't get your whole time.
In the ECOWAS, the last ECOWAS meeting, when which Chernobyl, the leader of the opposition, could have used that as a good opportunity. He's a lawyer by profession. That is an opportunity. Don't miss those opportunities for day inside the ECOWAS meeting. Make a good case among you West African counterparts. Be present, be prominent, make a good case there, tell them about what is really going on. But he was absent. And somebody has to actually make something behind his back. What does this tell you about the APC? You see, look, we can cry, but tomorrow people are going to say, wait, say, what do you make your hand smell? You told somebody and say, what do you make your hand smell? We cannot do it better, but we can compliment. We are doing this every day, every 2 days a day on social media. They do the best. I'm followed by over 9,000 people and trying to make a case, trying to condemn what is going on, injustice, all the state. But this is how much we can do. These are the people who are in office that then get the opportunity that they need opposition, that they in every damn thing, but they are not doing much. What he can suggest now, this election must, not to should, must be postponed because this is not an election. Every aspect of waiting an election for B has been abused. Ballot paper did not come in time. The last election box they show we show even photo videos the way they go take election box. They cannot. What is so sad? The 10 million go. Where is the APC asking all the questions here? The 10 million way they spend for all this election. I need to go take the whole box and they go ask there for
okay, thank you so much.
A lot of these things. So me feel that the APC, the position for B, let them postpone this election. I think that all over back again.
Well, we're yet to hear that. They don't give 72 hours ultimatum. So let's see what happened next. But from the look of things, like you said, I don't really think
this is not the election.
CSL, yeah. They are just prepared to call the result, not prepared for the election.
That's right. They are going to steal this election. If the APC attempt with this particular thing where they so right now, if they attempt for be dragged into an election now, so God, they're the loser.
All right, Mr. Jallo, what you take with all of this process where they go on, and also ECSL continue for do waiting and they do regardless of the ultimatum with the APC. In fact, after the ultimatum, I didn't go do early voting. I mean, this is to say we are challenging you, and we challenge you, and you cannot do nothing. Mr. Jallo.
Please give me time to educate Sierra Leoneans today.
You want to Fatima?
Not to Fatima. I'm beyond Fatima, above Fatima. Fatima could have been my daughter. My first daughter is older than Fatima Bio. My first daughter, Limatu, she is in America, a nurse. She's older than Fatima Bio. You see, those of us who claim to be educated, in Sierra Leone. Now we're responsible for all this will happen at the country. We're responsible because way back in the 1950s, that ended some of una small picking. Now in this political hegemony start. Mother Bio, then put him before because he's the dumbest guy in the room, then they use him. The people how they manipulate and then at the background. Okay? Power was not started by Mother Bio. As a matter of fact, now Power make Shaka Stevens, Sori Ibrahim Koroma, this Suleiman in Papa and others, then left the SLPP, then way Madingos then start APC. Now Madingos then start APC. I like Chidan Kale of Elba Street and others. We then start APC, then bring Shaka Stevens and others, say let her can join with and get experience in politics. In 1960. Since 1960 to now, several attempts have been made, but the APC get a weakness where they get for acknowledge. It's a weakness, but at the same time, it's part of nation building. In the sense that anytime APC can have power, then they open up for accommodate other people. And that's why, and when they come in to sabotage effective governance. Under Shaka Stevens, when Shaka Stevens was brought back to Sierra Leone from Guinea in 1968, after the overthrow of the NRC led by Andrew Jackson Smith, Shaka Stevens formed the first government of national unity. By then, I was in the secondary school. He called most of the key SLPP people then can form government. Now the term FM Mina and others came into the fold. Even people like Filifabo, Kamanja, etc., they came in, but these were SLPP. Gradually, the SLPP came in and took over the APC. By 1977, they covertly instigated the commencement of what was going to lead us to the RUF war. These are things some of you don't know. And we have to begin to say it now publicly. Let's allow people to understand the trends and why a country with so much resources not able to develop 60 years and more after independence. And when these guys took over APC, you know what they did the first step? They went on to loot the economy. Alfred Akibo Betts discovered this. He went to Shaka Stevens. He gave him the upper hand to do further investigation. They run after him. One Bodo stayed at Eastern Street, Kisiro Junction. Alfred Akibo Betts go hide, then go after him. He jumped over the window, he broke his hand. He had to be smuggled from Sierra Leone, dressed as a woman through Lunge. He go London. Later he came back and he was made chairman of City Council. Then came the 1977 issue. When that issue came up, Shaka Stevens gradually, gladly say, okay, until now say this government as people not sabi book they now bring book man. That was when we had the first cabinet of PhD holders. And 70% of them were SLPP, and some of them are still today SLPP, like my cousin, Abbas Chernobundu. He was made Minister of Agriculture after that elections. The trend has always been there. To say the APC is weak, no. The fact is, Sierra Leoneans don't know the truth. So they are easily manipulated with lies and propaganda, which is the key that the SLPP is using. They are very perfect using it. They can tell you something is black when it is white, and you'll believe it. Okay? They don't lead the country down the drain. Then get the strategies. This government, after they take over, what's in the first year they do? They use bulldozers and pull parliament, the members of parliament, the day for appoint a speaker. We complained. The international community took note. But the people of Sierra Leone did not back the APC by a national protest. The international community will take note. But if you don't come out en masse and say we don't want this as a people and as a country, they have little to do. So keep blaming the leadership of the APC is not the solution. And what you make her they talk this today, Rachel, I may not tell you before they pass Sierra Leone diaspora. Say after the, because I know we are going to come this way. I'm not surprised about everything happening. I know these people. They know me. In 1998, they attempted to eradicate me. I was beaten 6 hours and thrown over the bridge at Orogu and announced dead by FM 98.1. But I'm here today because God knows we will reach this point, and some of us, our voice will be very important to stabilize Sierra Leone. Let us don't go to a Rwanda-like situation. I'm not here to talk shop. I'm here to tell the hard facts.
So what's in your opinion or with regards to Samoa statement or the kind direction now where the APC want to do with all waiting the ECSL they do and still continue for you?
Samoa statement not go against no law na salon. Because the Constitution of Sierra Leone, Chapter 3, it clearly allows within the APC do so. That press conference say, if you are not satisfied with something, you have a right to express your grievance. As long as you not take stone or other thing for go pull people property, which is the crime. Okay? So for make we see a reaction from the SLPP, and now then they prepare military might. They tell you say they want to execute that hegemony they had planned. People should be prepared for it. It's a devil's alternative. We should be prepared for it.
Prepare for what?
SLPP has declared war. War is not a use of weapons. It's a state of existence. Mother Bio, before even this campaign started, went to certain areas and said they should protect their votes. We see what is happening in the south and the east. Even up to yesterday, people were beaten, destroyed, killed, etc. We saw video clips of what had happened in Pujan recently. People claiming they are in support of a minister in the government. We see how trends are. Anytime the APC goes to certain area, they will be attacked. That's protest that this fellow Adebayo called recently. We saw the level of military preparedness. It's war. He doesn't have to go to SLBS or SLBC to say, I declare war. Action speaks. Action speaks. And we have to be ready for that. It doesn't mean we have to take guns to go and fight. But it means that at this material moment, some of us who have the capacity, let us begin to talk to people that matter in the international community. Let them come in and intercede.
Suleiman, quickly,
Yeah.
what are the actions that you think say the APC for take now, because we get few days to election? Now, during Dr. Samura in press conference, he outlined a couple of things that I want for say a quick. One is say Kone now party card holder of the SLPP and also not qualify for this job. 80% of the staff them now ECSL, they are from the South. You understand? And also in them so many things. Then he talk about this the voting, because the counting, people therefore count manually, not this electronics, because now we are listening now they don't get up. We allow app they transmit all the resulted to, which of course the APC they don't disqualify that apply already right now. So what do you think, say, the APC therefore, what are the decisions therefore take now? Because we get a couple of days to election, apart of postponing the election.
Since 2018, the first very, very serious statement is where I see come from an APC leadership, which was very, very, very good. You know, I mean, in the past, I mean, the Cherno, who was the leader of the opposition, he has actually not, I mean, I've actually gone after him so many, many times that you are not actually showing leadership here. Maybe I don't know whether you not get the backing of the party, or I don't know whether they have a field day, or whether they feel so, oh, election day 5 first, no, you come to that particular time day, they left everything too late. But this is the first very, very serious statement.
But never too late. Never too late, Suleiman.
Well, yeah, Paraba, I'll tell you something. As you rightly said, Kone is an SLPP party holder. 3 years ago, he was actually they had concern about him. They failed to act. They let him became the, you know, they let the thing happen. What did the APC need for do? Therefore, just go on that particular statement and make an further to say, listen, the Samura Kamara for hold an international forum, for actually call international stakeholders and make a statement. You forget the ECOWAS, you forget the United Nations, you forget the American embassies, you forget all embassies, then call a general meeting of international stakeholders. Let me remind you now, and understand. Sierra Leone is the country where we get one of the highest peacekeeping forces in Africa. Sierra Leone, the international community gets stake by this country. This is what people don't understand. The international community gets stake, but how do you actually harness that thing together? That is what Samura Kamara have to do. They have to, therefore, actually make use of this situation, bring all these international stakeholders in. We're responsible for overseeing this election and say, you know, put all the points in, all the genuine points in, and get the support of the party and backing and support of the public for say, this has been wrong. They have not produced voters registration earlier on in a very agreed time frame. That's number one. Number two, voters registration was corrupted. Look at all the evidence here. Number three, there are evidence that they are not allowing the opposition members to actually campaign. Look at the videos. Look at this. Look at that. Look at that. Look what they block here. Look what they do here. Look, bring all these things together. He needs to bring a consortium of all the international stakeholders together in the meeting and make the position say we are not going into this election if it be postponed until they meet this and this and this and this condition. And what are the conditions that this particular corner don't show? Say it's the simple things like voters card is a rocket science for him. You know, fit the position. This is the evidence. We need a new thing. Elect the election. The Unohola this year, Unohola next year, but as far as they do it right. That is what Samura Kamara for do. He get for actually bring all the international stakeholders here, make a really good point.
Make you utilize them immediately.
Absolutely. And they will listen to him. But you know, I just don't understand, how can the SLPP, this is what can worry me, can concern me. How are the SLPP doing it better? For
okay, let me answer you. Let me answer that question. Really, you are difficult to discuss with because there are certain things that need to be clarified. Please. Some of us, we are just talking for Sierra Leone. All
right. When the SLPP was in opposition, I actually have been studying them. What are they getting it right? What are they getting right? The SLPP they're able to harness a consortium of all the members. They're able to channel things into the diplomatic community. And nowadays in government, they have even make it better. They are able to harness all the institutions all together, even when the public knows they are wrong, even when they know they are thieves, even though they know they are criminals, even though they did and that. But what are they getting right here? It is because they're able to organize at a level where the APC not do. This is what people like Boy Jabora they refer for.
No, sir. Sorry.
Let me just finish my point.
Maybe if you may allow me to answer you for no say I know more than you did say.
Okay.
Please.
Okay.
Don't mention me in that.
Okay, I didn't mention you, but okay, let me see.
I am not here to talk child talk. I know the gravity of what is happening in Sierra Leone.
Okay, let me finish my point.
Finish.
Let me say something. There's just something wrong with the APC, I don't understand. How are they not really able to harness the potentials the way they get? You know why? I'm not able to understand. It's just something they are not doing right. They sleep. Just like their leadership sleep. First of all, the most humiliating thing that happened to the APC. We're so fucked up, excuse me, French. Then sit down. This party, 2007, they said democratize, they don't agree. 2012, they said democratize, they don't agree. They're therefore allowed to create a rebellion inside the party. It play into the hands of the SLPP. Well, when you make yourself so cheap to the SLPP, now then look at Una like a piece of shit. They play with them. They use supposed to be bus driver in London. You know, even need for be a magistrate. They ain't go actually organize Una for actually democratize APC and everything. That's very humiliating. That is the power. That is what they are using, leverage they use against the APC. And they continue for the bang them on. And at the end of the day, the APC look like a fool in the presence of this SLPP. This is how the SLPP they think that nobody are able them. Ella could thief this country, Ella could kill, Ella could make whatever they. How many times have you seen APC come out with very strong statements with all the injustice we happen in the country? August 10, they locked up 200 women them in a jail. How many times have you seen APC members and they come out and the public for show and highlight this thing? Past the particular people like we read it on the social media, we will say we own busy lives, but we manage for actually highlight these things and tell about how much effect does it cause. Then the leader of the opposition over the take leadership, they get 200 women in a jail. I like them. If you come from Somalia, from the American ambassador, will believe me because that's like man more there. Some people can say, but let the people here the diaspora, they keep just talking about rubbish. Then they can make this is the point. It should be coming from them. When the leadership, these a lot of injustice. They are not taking leadership. They are not promoting. They are not actually highlighting the issues to the international community. They're not doing enough these 8 years. It was mostly done by just us in the periphery. We're not actually very significant. So those who actually have the mandate, they are members of parliament, they in a lot of these things, they're not able to highlight the wrongs of the SLPP effectively enough for them to reach a point in time today where for not create panic in the international community.
Okay. Thank you, Suleiman. But like Mickey always give me on by tweak in your stop. I think say the people there's so much anxiety in the air. And I think say now the people there a solution they want. We all acknowledge them problem. We all saw this problem. We all talk about them problems. So we they see. And we know one or two reasons why in those times they were a little bit quiet because they don't question society. But now some people they want solution. They want leader how they can tell them how this go solve. And that's how I think so. Now that's for also we mind to because there's so much anxiety, anxiety in the air.
I've just said it. Let them postpone this election.
Yeah,
that's the only solution. So they have to take the lead. They have to get the right international stakeholders, put the case across to them that this cannot hold. If they make a good case, the people are going to be in them.
They have a good case.
They will be convinced.
Okay. Mr. Jallo, what's your response as we wrap up now?
I think the Samoa Kamara and China Maggio, they blame them, they do what thing for do. The international community recognizes the sovereignty of the Republic of Sierra Leone. Mr. X, Mr. Y, Mr. Z can make as many complaints as possible. Me only sit on since 2019, and I think Rachel no part of that. I have been party to drafting and writing letters sent out to various organizations. Plenty letters. But little action was taken because they recognized the sovereignty of the Republic of Sierra Leone. The international community go only come in and intervene when the mass of the people of Sierra Leone come out and say, waiting Samoa say, waiting Cherry Coco say, they are strongly behind them. Then they know there is a failed state situation developing, they will come in. You see, some of them things here are not a talking because I want to protect certain interests. I know the Sierra Leonean mentality. Now that makes some of we not be ever involved in mainstream politics. I never ran for political office in Sierra Leone, but I've been elected twice in Norway. Okay? A country that is my second country now. Because I know that the mental status of a people, now they determine how then they do things. Laws and everything are just words written on paper. The way we think is what we do. Our perceptions, now they allow we for interpret a law properly or misinterpret, abuse or misuse it. Samoa, as far as are concerned with the APC, they have been through this crisis period, some of which even developed before the SLPP came to power. They don't try. And as Nkrumah in its time felt that opening up is a way to enhance national peace. But it was a mistake he made that is now costing the Republic of Sierra Leone the possibility of going to a drastic war, which some of us don't want. For some of these people in power, they don't care whether we go to war or not. There are several reasons why they don't care. One, some of them cannot make their lives without having public office to loot. We know the head of state what he was in London. We know. It's no secret. You get him out of that comfort now, he's like equally dead. Okay? The second reason we make people and feel say politics must be a game of life and death is that we not even understand the role of politics because we don't allow a few for hijack what is supposed to be a service institution for become a master institution. Now they are the bosses. They don't traumatize the people, don't reduce them to nothing. You have people here coming to support them who, when you look where they sleep or eat, what they eat, it's a question. The solution to Sierra Leone is let the people go out en masse and say enough is enough. It's a devil's alternative. Whichever way we look at it, some will die. You either die from that protest when they will send their dogs out to kill you, or you'll die slowly from hunger, because definitely if the SLPP wins this election, in the next few months, a bag of rice will be going above 1 million leones. Some people will go for days without food. They will develop ulcer and such things and die slowly and painfully. Or in the event that things deteriorate into a war, more people will die. The APC has come out clearly to say, we've given 72 hours. After that, we had the running mates say, we are going to activate mass protest, which is our right. Let the people go out and protest peacefully, not all tick and voting for person. Go, if na placard, olam. Let we postpone this election. If possible, let's have an interim government selected, which should not include any of the political parties now. They are independent Sierra Leoneans. And please don't include me there. Okay? They are independent Sierra Leoneans. Allah finish, sir. They are independent Sierra Leoneans. We go able take the country, then go and reorganize everything, do voters registration, come with clean ballots and everything, then conduct a safe and fair election. If at that point SLPP win, it is normal and will be accepted. But as it is, these guys are not ready to run an election. They already have a result to announce. Take it from me. And one thing I want you to understand, Suleiman, the international community is aware of everything, but they are looking for the action of the people.
Yeah.
So let the people go out.
Yeah.
So I would support a mass protest.
There are things I would not say here that I know, but stop blaming the APC, please.
No, it's not a blame. Look, the position of Samora Kamara is correct. The position
so
of
I want to play one video. Yeah, we can comment on that one, please.
Yeah, okay, yeah, sure.
Go ahead. No.
Yeah.
And what did they have me? For we were don't fail. For we, me confident they will stand by me. We're not there alive today because the same APC government create a problem will lead to that rebel war. They're not there alive today. And the same APC government, they encourage this idiot for they talk the rubbish where they talk. And one day, and Eskroma, Samora, they not one day dissociate themselves from this rubbish where they talk. I challenge I challenge Samora for men to come out. If they are not part of that rubbish, they will talk and say no to whatever they call them within a Holland. We want peaceful people there. We want peaceful people there. We want the education we don't bring out they for enjoy. We they pay airports, we they do all of this, not for countries begin to again and burn everything. So we always be honest, we are able to talk to her. The international community, Samora is herself. Now Samora de freedom. He said they for change the head of the Electoral Commission. 2012 were the contest that they put Christian at top. I picked them, the Tifan, I left Frankie there. 2018, I said this one, not to Anyampi game this. When I don't see the last one, this one not Tifan. They appoint their own, now being infra content also. We still pull on there. We still beat them even with the referee. One country. So now waiting some.
Suleiman, residents.
You know, Manabio is so painful to watch. That's what I want to say. It's very, very, very painful. Sometimes it can give me a panic attack. I can be very, very upset that, you know, that I can class myself as a Sierra Leonean and forget the kind of leadership. It's shameful. I mean, he doesn't even understand history. See, when somebody don't spend years and years engage in any public service life, for they become rational, you not even get rational, you not even rational, you not even understand what's in the do. The rebel war, the rebel war was actually started in Yom Kisi, how they call it, a country. You know, I mean, they say they wanted to start a war. I'll begin dissect as small. Let's talk about the rebel war. I mean, the rebel war started by somebody who even married his own big sister. I mean, Fudisanko, we spent 35 years in Shegwema. I mean, they was supposed to spend so much of that time, though actually transform into that particular place. And the first people who would be the rebel in the country, the Kisi people and the Shabro Kisi Mende people. The first shot was fired in Bomaru. And their intention, they say they want to pull the APC out of power. But the longer they go to the police station, now their own people, their own people, and they kill them and do all kind of things. All the time, that is rubbish. And then it can be they can blame Anders by Koroma for saying. So this is a man where don't lose initiative. If I be a very intelligent man, if I now be get content, now we really do well in 5 years. Now we get class, we get poise, we very, very get really good standard, get character. Adebayo not really a problem. But this man, who's how this whole thing interesting, he has been dragged down to that particular level. Now he doesn't understand that it is his 5 years that created Adebayo. Nobody not creates Adebayo. Me say for he kind of social media, they blast seriously. I mean, no man answer because. whatever are the costs, they bastard this, then that, and they blast them. It is about the create Sulaiman. It's about the anger. You know, that goes to them bad policies, the bad governance, the bad this.
Sulaiman, Mami cost a problem right now.
Yes, it will work fine. You don't see corner. Make I tell you, I was somebody who used to say, "Oh, I don't like this Mami course, this, that, this." But no, the Mami course is part of the therapeutic process for actually. If it's working well, if corner can come out, he hold a public meeting, say,
No,
let me finish this point.
Mami course now the problem right now. I'm not saying
no, it is not our problem. It is not our problem.
Mami course in the work, the president enough for respond to Adebayo, and Mohammed calling enough for response to Adebayo and other people than the government. So the Mami course problem.
Not saying our problem. We get so much problem. One bag rest from don't go from 200,000
there you go.
to 800,000. But guess what? That the problem now. The problem, this guy, you see, Salon, the typical Sierra Leone person, way full of ego. You know the cause and this is what is working. What's wrong with the people here? They don't go so low that Mami cost they hurt them because they know what they are doing wrong. And you know, the typical Sierra Leone politicians have no shame. They're not ashamed. You know, these people stole 7,000 tons of rice. Even they pick the rest, they don't have mercy upon them. They stole those rice. They share them and everything. What is more shameful past this? We have used social media effectively so well. How much is it working? But something is happening where the president today, he left for actually talk about the agenda. He left for talk about a manifesto. He left for talk about the things away for achieve or what he not achieve if he achieve any. No, don't drag down to Adebayo. That means it look like this Adebayo. I wrote a small article where everybody laughed. I say, dear Adebayo, I say it look like the Mamikos is actually making some really big. I say amplify to a PhD level. Because if this wasn't they hurt them so badly, I don't actually have a problem with that. Marabio, nine at the start of how they call it, rudeness. There was a time when during the 2012 election, this man go block President Ahmed Sesay Senior convoy. If Ahmed Sesay Senior or any other person been do that to Marabio, they shoot him. Okay. So the border starts rudeness at Sierra Leone. When we know from 2012, before even 2012, the rudeness between the Power Party, how they call themselves, Ikande group against Marabio group, the Mamikos, the rudeness, Marabio promoted it.
So man, make us play a video for 30 seconds where you see the when all guy go from now neck 2018.
Yeah. That's one. And secondly, if a question is asked and you people don't feel secure for security reasons of your system, I'm coming. That is what I'm saying.
That's not Lima. Yeah.
I told you. I mean,
yes.
There are a lot of videos for proof that Marabio started rudeness. There are a lot of videos for proof saying Marabio not be the cooperate with a decent process. There are a lot of videos for proof saying the SLPP, and Sesay Senior, regardless of what we can say about him, is a very, very decent man. Maybe that too much of him, being civil, I mean, could not have actually worked well for Sierra Leone in post-war. A post-war leader and a different leader. Not a leader when are the natural leader. A post-war leader, a different leader. Unfortunately, and it's might be too nice for that. Very accommodating, just like my brother Boy Jambura mentioned. I mean, referencing one of the statement that we make. Rudeness. Marabio today is actually angry about rudeness. Everybody knows he's a liar. I mean, the thing about Sierra Leone is that these people, is because we have a country where people wake with up, they don't have even 50 cents for spend. You know, to make some money go to the rally the day. So they don't go cook small tea where they will go eat for the day. Because I tell you how many thousands, tens of thousands of people will wake up the money, brah, for even get one seat dress for outside for beginning for the day. If you say, madam, you then they go to party. But it's not that they are there in support of them. These are not the real crowd. People just go for one listen to a crap because maybe they were able to scrape $2-3. That's what is happening here. But look at Marabio. You are the one that will start through this. Forget about what Marabio do. Look at social media. Social media, I can tell you the SLPP supporters them. Now they're not the most uncouth. You know, me today now I look at the whole thing. I say, God bless Adebayo. We get so much power for tame these people. Because there was no way we can do. You know how many times they curse we for telling the truth on social media? How many times they blast we in the past? Then they curse we, mama, they tell we all kinds of them. But it's not be sabi how for curse me because it's well, they only sabi past them. They all are the lecturer. This is how we put out. And this is what is fun. This is what I like about Adebayo. Now the lecturer and I don't cancel.
So
now the lecturer and I the lecturer.
Increase the volume.
So I said increase that to PhD level 3 because this in the panel, you know, the Sibanabio, he's not talking about the issues now again. He know Adebayo in the talk. If I don't name Adebayo in himself, he say down the way in himself and a whole, you know, able to get my calling name. So when we run social media, when I start my politics, when I start my social media, well, God can give you your own day. The lecturer will get double PhD. So this is what you don't hold them to ransom. This is getting better, you know. I mean, we're not gonna say, look, it will be good. I'll tell you, man. When I read about Rwanda, the Paul Kagame started that particular country, building not being safe. Institution not be no safe for start, but it turned around. And look, Sierra Leone problem is not bad. Let me tell you something. You see. I want to make one final statement. I mean, give me that chance. Just a short one. You see, in West Africa, Sierra Leone, now we get the highest IQ past every West African person.
Wrong.
If Saloma talk like America, they talk exactly like America with the same accent. Nigeria, like Ilangbote, that accent they be now. Sierra Leone sabi copy. We sabi copy anything. Anything we sabi copy. Where good or bad we sabi copy. So they get good leader where they can model really good example and change, where they show groundedness, possibly they bring good values and everything. Saloma will copy them. Saloma will be good. If we get the great leader we will come today, this time we hope for that country today. This country could be changed if we get the right leader. We understand the 21st century. We know how to model good behavior. All that thing like mommy, because all things were done, everything will make the country will be very. I mean, people will be law abiding. Rwanda today are the most law abiding country. I go to Thailand, they nearly bang me now with zebra crossing. Maybe they assume say, oh, then Thai people they understand zebra crossing. That's what you're not saying. But Rwanda, we're an African country. Now the country with zebra crossing, they respect and pass everything. How amazing is that? Botswana, these are countries where so high today. You know, so I get very strong hope for Sierra Leone. We are a very, very intelligent people that has been made into a mess because we get messy leaders. And God not all leader they approve. Look at the Bible. They approve all leaders. When people say, hey Suleiman, don't disrespect leader. Leadership is from God. People are so full. How like it also? That's what I say that God they approve all leader. No. Even the Israel. There are certain leaders where God can say, hey, what I don't choose that they will not going to be punished because you don't choose this particular leader.
Okay, guys, we wrap up now. I got one video to wrap up with now, please.
We decide to go to street. We go to street peacefully, but we don't come out and tell what happen. And we don't tell that before today, we repeat them back. Anybody wearing soldier uniform or police uniform, he shoots civilian, not a soldier, not a police, and we will treat them like non-soldier and non-police. Because the soldier man can work and the police them now for protect we the citizens them when are out of the tax and they pay.
Sajamuria, we wrap up now. You see the video I just played where Cherry Coconut snap. We're not to get you clear, Mr. Jamuya. Okay, Suleiman.
Now Cherry Coco talk like boy picking. I love that statement. That's why definitely that's safe for talk.
Yes, I think I'm ready to talk.
Please. We'll wrap up now.
I am having another interaction with people calling me, and I think I should go offline soon.
Yeah, we'll wrap up now.
For me, I'm not here to discuss idiots. I'm here to discuss the safety of Sierra Leone. You see, I don't say what I get for say. The leadership of the A.P.C don't come out to the step with them for reach. They cannot go beyond this. Let the people come out. If ICC get for charge Boy Jalo Jamboya for that, so be it. But they don't need to go out with sticks and weapons. Let them go with placards and say, we don't want this election. Then the international community will come in and the process will be normalized. There will be a mitigation. It's time we stop talking people and events. Let's look at rationality. That idiot Madabio succeed for being president in Sierra Leone because Sierra Leoneans are very emotional. I was like that, but I'm past that now. Now I talk rationally. I talk issues, not who did what. There are no perfect persons on that. Even Jesus Christ was not perfect. Okay? Let's get that clear. Prophet Muhammad was not perfect. And God does not interfere into what we do. He made us in his image and likeness. He gave us the ability to think. If you don't think and get fucked up, it's your business. Time Sierra Leoneans begin to take their country seriously, think and work. The issue of leadership will never be solved in Sierra Leone. You know why? The culture of Sierra Leone is loaded with fear, hypocrisy, intimidation. So whatever leader you have, until the mass of the people get up and say, let us change this, it will continue. This issue about mommy costs, I don't care whether person costs me, mama. Because when it costs mama, you say get mama. And cursing is done all over the world. You people, the two of you, Shaba and Rachel, you are in America. Who do they curse woman curse rich American man?
Say Australia. You can't say the curse.
Tell me.
They curse every day.
Bitch, motherfucker. This is all like what Adebayo is doing.
Exactly.
So it's not an issue. In Norway, they tell you Helvete. Helvete. Do you know what that means? They say it just like you greet. Go to the issue of mamikos. Now the issue of trying to hide what they want to achieve. They promote people's emotions. They don't go and tell the people the truth. They promote emotions. And because they know say Sierra Leoneans, now a bundle of emotional wreck, now they make idiots and they succeed in that country. Some of us, we are now at the stage where maybe we'll go take a decision very soon, which is I'll stop being Sierra Leonean forever and ever. I have nothing to lose. Honest to God.
Please don't, but Jamboya,
honest to God, I have nothing. I've been saying it. Because I know the rubbish show they go towards.
Well, Mr. Jamboya, one get passion for our country.
Before Madabio became president, 2014, I wrote a whole screenplay. I have the copy. A whole screenplay titled The Palm Covenant. It's copyrighted. Where I predict this rubbish would they be. Before last election, I've been there for one social group where they call Forward Sierra Leone with Yvonne Akiso and all. Where I tell them, say, if Madabio ever become president, it's a regret for Sierra Leone. Then delete me the same day. This is how hypocritical we even at the comments there. I see people in the right authority. I just want to tell some of them, say, I served Sierra Leone 20 years of my life. Sierra Leone not pay me one pension after they talk so. I left my country with short Pierre's t-shirt running for my life after they don't beat me to Emioba or Good Bridge. So it's not about me wanting to be relevant. I don't seek anybody's recognition to be relevant. My relevance is made by the way I think. Let the people go out and say, we cannot have this election. The only thing, let them don't go there to destroy lives and property. Let the soldier and police, where Mother Bureau feels say now gets them, let them kill people them. Now see how the international community go react. That's all I will say for now. The rest is just empty talk.
All right, thank you very much. Suleiman,
to round up, I like what Cherno said. This is what is showing leadership. And trust me, it will make a huge difference if they actually provide the leadership and people will listen, people like us will support that. Honestly, this election will be postponed. Therefore, start the process all over again. Therefore, actually be very, very serious about what did happen. And I mean, it's a good opportunity. They get for actually become very, very strong in what they believe in. I don't get much for say in this. The A.P.C get particular leadership there. And trust me, they get the support, the overwhelming support of the people of this country. Therefore, understand, say, not many people were registered. The registration process was sort of like tampered with. So there's just a lot of things there. This is the right approach. And just like Jamboria said, we need mass protest for say the need for start this process again. Without much ado, I thank you all very much for inviting me tonight.
Thank you very much, Suleiman. Thank you so much for taking your time. It's been a it's been a good back and forth with you, Mr. Jallo, but that's democracy.
Okay, disagree about it. We talk.
Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you so much.
No
we
problem.
appreciate
Thank you so much, my friends. We'll catch up again. Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Mr. Jallo Jamboria. We do appreciate you and also you honor our invitation back as soon as possible. Thank you. Well. That's a good one today. And we want to tell family and thank you. Right now, almost 11 o'clock in the morning to we. People are surprised when they come on the morning now because, like I said, we get busy schedule. Yes,
unusual times. I say now unusual times. And I really, the conversation and the discussion where we get today makes a lot of sense. And I just want to encourage Salone people and we don't see them say this is not about A.P.C. Sierra Leoneans are ready for defend them votes, for defend them rights. They are ready. They were just waiting for that leadership. And now we don't begin see so. That leadership. And the talk where Channel talk yesterday, it give more hope to the people of Sierra Leone, not just to the APCians, but it give more hope to the people of Sierra Leone. I mean, the honest truth for me, you ask me, if this electoral process, free and fair, let's see say it's just free and fair. If now SLPP power win,
so be it.
You know, that is that. In fact, that is not my issue. My issue is, and I believe saying that that's not Sierra Leone and concern. Make the process be transparent, be free, and be fair. If no matter you win, fine. We will congratulate him. We don't say the people of Sierra Leone still want him. I mean, it's all waiting they go on. We don't say the people of Sierra Leone still want him. But let it be free and fair. And that these people of Sierra Leone and they ask for. So that the outcome of the election will be free and fair. And all Sierra Leoneans will accept that result today. So at this juncture, me just feel say, I mean, Sierra Leone people there as they don't stand up, so they don't, you know, then they're energized, they are fired up. They are ready to defend their votes. They are ready to defend their right. And like we say, we don't cry to the international community, but they can just, they're not going to just come in where the people of Sierra Leone, they don't see reaction from the people of Sierra Leone. There should be a reaction. They foresee positive reaction from the people of Sierra Leone before ever they can come in. We know how these people operate. We know what they do behind the scenes or what they say. And Sierra Leone is a sovereign state. They're not going to just kind of say, no, so. they have to see it from the people, because they believe in the power of the people. They believe in people's power. And that's cut across the 101. They believe in democracy and they believe the voice and the power of the people. And that's what they're waiting for.
Okay, thank you very much. Family, so we go left now to win this morning, and we might be there back tomorrow morning. We on time when 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning. We want for appreciate you. I want to join this program and also share on our own ideas and questions them. And we also wish you all a pleasant weekend. When I stay with you, and I continue for follow we on social media, Egatin Shaba, and tell it to Rachel Bangua Davis, and we sister station we will work with. We now we are